All right. Isaiah,
Hello.
how do you do? We haven't recorded in a while.
We have not. It's been 2 weeks.
We're back, everyone. Oh, I need to do an intro.
Yes.
I'm just like ready to jump right in. Hello, cinephiles, and welcome to Silver Screen Sips, a podcast where two idiots talk about movies. And today is our listeners episode, Volume 9. Just a reminder, there are spoilers ahead for movies and TV shows that you may not have seen yet. Just know you've been warned. The two movies that will be spoiled today is Inception and Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't worry, darling. I know the ending of Inception.
Yeah. Also, we have a lot to talk about before we do dive into these movies. First off, we apologize for the lack of episodes these past few weeks. I had COVID. I'm doing great now, better than ever. Second time having COVID. Did you know that, Isaiah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your immune system
My lungs are amazing. Yeah. My immune system is the worst. And then we also need to talk about Isaiah's fucking Barbenheimer experience.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Or trauma, maybe I should say.
It's definitely traumatic.
Well, spill the tea.
Spill the tea. Oh, girl, sit down.
Okay, I am.
So, it is. Someone told me, I got an email somewhere at my job that said that this is going to be the busiest weekend in movie theater history.
Probably.
And it probably was, and it felt like it.
Yeah.
And it was literally to the point where, like, okay, so I have to do.
Actually, I can only think of one other thing that would be really, really crazy.
Go on.
Star Wars.
No.
Not the first one, but the prequels. Have you seen you've seen photos and videos from people like fucking waiting outside for that shit?
Yes. However, I don't know, because apparently this is busier than that.
Oh, I'm sure, like, overall, I'm just thinking like chaos, like craziness wise, maybe.
Oh, no. National Cinema Day will always top that, which is happening again this year, which I am dreading gratefully.
Oh, boy. We'll fill you in on that, guys.
Yeah,
when that happens.
When that happens again. All I know is there's going to be a lot of emails sent to a lot of people being like, this is what we're going to need. And if you ain't going to do it, you do not expect me to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Barbenheimer. So Barbie and Oppenheimer came out same day.
If for those who don't know.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, who've been living under a rock like Patrick for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
So both movies came out. It came out. If nobody really nobody knows, like a lot of people don't seem to realize, except for this weekend that everybody fucking knows, that movies come out on they come out on Friday, right? However, there's usually like an opening premiere on Thursday, meaning most movies, like 9 times out of 10, there'll be like a 8 o'clock or a 6 o'clock showing, or both, on Thursday, right? So Thursday, the first showing I think was like 3. So I had basically the entire day of Oppenheimer and Barbie on Thursday as well. And everybody knew it because they were all there. And it was so much fun. And by that, I mean that it was hectic and annoying.
Do you have one, like, your top story of any, like, encounters you had with anybody? Or, like, do you have one that stands out?
I have several.
What's the one that's, like, the most, like,
the worst?
The most.
The
worst.
Most? It's
the most worst, yes.
The most worst. So I have to do them. I do metrics at my theater, so I have to figure out how many people. I have to predict people are going to show up, right? So Thursday.
You have to predict it?
Yes, I have to do math, unfortunately, and then use stats from previous years, like all that kind of stuff, to figure out and predict how many people were going to show up. I've actually gotten pretty good at it. I was very accurate. I predicted 3,400 people this Saturday. We were at 3,350, so I was only 50 off. So
damn, and you overcompensated, which I think is better than underestimating. Yeah.
Yes. And then of course I was off though on Sunday. I predicted 2,700, 2,900 showed up.
Damn.
So that was a problem. However, Sunday was way more chaotic because we were severely understaffed, as in I was the only manager.
Of course.
Yeah, because so I was the only manager. Yeah. And so I'm getting pulled around in several different directions. 4 things, multiple things are broken, and they happen to break during the busiest weekend. So, like, terrible timing.
Yeah.
So I have a broken popper. So a popper is the popcorn machine, by the way. So I only have half a popper. Basically, I'm supposed to have 2 things that pop popcorn at the same time. I only have 1, and it's very small.
Oh, no.
So
half the pop.
Yeah, so I only have half the popcorn, right? And so basically what we're doing is like, okay, we're gonna sell the popcorn, and then eventually people are now waiting for the popcorn. I'm like, okay, just wait over here. So now they're waiting for the popcorn. And then but we're still selling popcorn. So now the line that we're waiting for is getting longer. It's like, okay, you know what? Just
Mm.
10 minutes. But now we're still not popping it fast enough. So now they're waiting 20 minutes. At that point, I was like, they're gonna be here for like 45 minutes waiting for popcorn. I just told them we're sold out. Like we're just gonna have to go with that way. Cause like it's either that or
They miss half the movie.
we miss half the movie. And I'm like, we can't do that. But we have the entire other menu that they can choose from that is not broken. So I was like,
Yeah.
we'll just have to roll with that. And I'm jumping to the final straw because that like broke the camel's back on
Mm.
why this weekend was hell. But basically what happened was this dude comes up to me and he's like yelling at me about how come there's no popcorn. And like, it's broken, bro. Like I can't do anything about that. And he starts yelling at me, telling me how to do my job on how I should tell the crowd that there is no popcorn. And I'm thinking, I am doing 30 different things right now.
Yeah.
Like I got to go fix a chair in one theater. There's a refund at box office. There's what do you call it? They ran out of cups in concession. Like I got to be in 3 different places. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh no, screw that. I got to tell everybody that there's no popcorn. Like no.
Just have someone else, like if anything, just have another employee do it.
That's the thing. I was also understaffed.
Oh yeah, there's that.
But like also, we were having this conversation in front of the concession stand. So I'm like, if you didn't learn it when you were in line, you were gonna learn it when you walked up to the concession. Like you only like okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he starts getting mad at me, and I'm like trying to calm him down, and he's just amping himself up to the point where he then starts yelling to the crowd, "Dad, there's no popcorn." He's trying to rile everybody up, and I'm like, okay, now this is becoming a problem. I need you to go either get your stuff or get out because like you can't be riling up the crowds because you're angry about something that's out of anybody's control. But whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he riles up the lady behind him. And then she starts yelling at me about how there's no popcorn, about how she's standing there for waiting for popcorn. I'm like, bro, I cannot I didn't say it, but like I can't manifest popcorn. The same thing with the ice. Ice takes time to freeze, bro. I cannot make the laws of physics go faster. Like it's not possible. I'm sorry.
You're like, do you want me to just go fucking grow a field of corn in the back and then pick it and then pop it with a fucking can and some flames? Like, what the fuck do you want?
I do not possess the time stone in order to make the popcorn go faster. I can't do it.
Yeah.
But then she started getting riled up, and then she did it too, of yelling to the crowd about how I'm like, all right, I can't do this anymore. But then what really ticked me off though, and what I had to walk away from because I was about to like lose my mind, was she looked me dead in the eye, asked me, why is there no popcorn? I said, oh, she's like, what you need to do is open up a second popper. And so first off, let's just take a pause. Do you think I would be sitting here saying it's sold out if I didn't have a second popper? So I was like, that's what I told her. I was like, I'm sorry, man. What do you call it? I did have another one on. We just can't keep up because it's broke. It broke on us. We literally were in the middle of cooking it and it just fell apart. I just can't get it to work. And she looks me dead in the eye and she goes, what you need to learn about business is that something like that, nobody cares. And I was like, what?
Yeah. I was like, okay, so then fuck off. You don't care about popcorn. So then you don't like what? I don't understand your logic behind that sentence, ma'am.
I know. I had to walk away because I was so livid. What?
Yeah.
Who says that?
Like,
Who said
yeah.
why?
Something you need to know about business is that people don't care. What? I would have looked her dead in the eyes and been like, you really thought you said something there, huh? Like you really thought that was something, huh?
Yeah, is that your magnum opus?
Was that supposed to like offend me?
It did. It literally pissed me off because I was like, I have 1,000 people
Isaiah, no.
telling me about this.
You gotta act like it doesn't offend you because that pisses them off more and it's funny that way.
I was doing that all day with like several different other people because there's also some racist stuff that was going on too, and I was like, oh great, yeah. Nice. So if any of you didn't know, I'm brown.
What? Since when?
I don't know. It's kind of just been there all the time.
You just kind of decided one day?
Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get some more melanin.
1 melanin, please.
Thank you, doctor. But no, we call like earlier. My theater is in a very predominantly Spanish market. Like it's got a lot of Spanish people that show up that like speak Spanish and stuff. So we have movies that are dubbed in Spanish, right? So you can come and see the movie and it's in Spanish. And for some reason, like 15 people showed up and they all bought tickets for a Spanish version of Oppenheimer.
Not realizing? Oh my God. That's
I
hilarious.
was like,
That's
it's right.
amazing.
I was like, it's an entire. It's even in its own separate bracket. It's separated from the rest of the showings. It says it in a real big bold text. Like I mean,
That means that they watched it. I wonder how long it took them to realize that it wasn't in English.
no, the first 30 seconds, like the trailers
Damn.
ended. The trailers are in English, right? So the trailers ended, and then they were all like, "Oh, this is in Spanish," and so everybody walked out.
Damn.
So they're like, yeah. So they
That would
walked
have
up.
been amazing if they went through like half of it and they're like, do you understand anything they're saying?
Am I having a stroke?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So they all walked up. Now, 11 of the 15 were like, "Oh, that's my bad. We didn't even realize it. We'll pay attention next time." And they're all chill, and I was like, "That's cool." So
Yeah.
I got them to another showing, and they were all happy, and we're like, "Cool, that's great." Except for these two old couples, right? One, she was yelling at me, not because she saw the movie in Spanish or that I wasn't going to get her to a different. No. She was angry specifically at the fact that it was in Spanish,
What?
and like it was my fault somehow. And I was like, "Ma'am," she's like, "Why is it in Spanish? Like, why would you show a movie in Spanish?" And I was like, "Because we're like in Miami. Like, what do you mean?"
Yeah.
Like we're in Miami. Like, why would we not? People speak Spanish. That's a language that exists. I don't.
Because we're in America and it's a melting pot of multiple different cultures, and it's not just English that we speak, but it's multiple other languages. Bitch.
Yeah, so like,
that's what I would say. And then end it with bitch.
No, that I was chill at this point. So I just kept on like I was very confused. So I was like, "Ma'am, I don't. What do you mean?" I kept on asking you like, "What do you mean? Why is it in Spanish? Like it says it's in Spanish. We have Spanish movies. I'm not understanding." So she just kept on harping on the fact that it was in Spanish.
She's one of those people that goes to a Mexican restaurant and is like, one quesadilla, please.
One taco, please.
Por favor.
No. That's using Spanish. She would be very mad about that.
True.
So I was like, "I can get you to the next movie if you want, the English one." And she was like, "No, I want my refund." I was like, "Okay."
I hate people that do that complain but don't want a solution.
You walked in, you bought this movie. I was like, "I'm providing a solution." Like you just have to wait like literally 5 minutes and you got to see the movie. Like,
yeah,
I'm trying to fix your mistake. Like, okay.
I'm going to get more personal into this, but like, how could you marry someone like that?
Oh no.
That is just that awful to a person, like to staff,
That's
to an employee.
That's one of those things, you go on a date with somebody, and if they're rude to the waiter, that's an immediate
huge red flag.
All right, that's
ditch their ass.
You ditch them with the check. You apologize, and then you go out with the waiter.
Yeah,
you walk out the door with the waiter.
Oh man!
And that was all of Sunday. Like all of Sunday was just stuff like that happening, of just people being belligerent and rude and racist. And eventually I just kind of just couldn't do it anymore. I had to walk.
I'm hoping the worst is over for you, since it's opening weekend at least is over.
No, because it was Monday. Yesterday was Monday, and it was still just as busy. We did like 2,000. We did like 1,300.
Well,
people.
At least you got Friday through Sunday off.
Yeah, we're going to Comic-Con, baby. I'm going to Tampa.
Yes. So this is going to come out after Comic-Con, but for those who follow us on Instagram, you'll probably have already seen that we covered on our Instagram Comic-Con and stuff. We met a bunch of people and everything. It was awesome. I'm assuming. I'm talking about this in the past. Like I'm like, oh, we did all this awesome stuff. Watch, we don't do any of that.
We post no pictures. Who knows?
But yeah, so we already did that. But I'm hoping we have a good time.
And just in the vibe, right? So when my older theater shut down, they're stripping the place, so they're just like throwing stuff out there. So they're like, "Do you want anything before we like as a memento or something before we knock it all down?" And so I took the 20 adults only 21 and over sign that hung over the bar.
Right. That's what we're getting. The place I'm at, we have a bar that's pretty much complete, but we're missing one thing, and that's a fucking sign.
21 and over, baby. I'm also bringing which they know what season is next, right?
Yes. Well, we're going to announce that at the end. If they didn't see on Instagram yet,
okay,
then they'll know.
Well,
but yeah.
Well, I'll save that because I'm bringing you more stuff that's related.
Oh, okay. I'm excited. But yeah, Isaiah's coming up for the weekend. We're going to go to see Oppenheimer, and we are going to the Comic-Con, and we are going to get drunk.
Yes, I'm going to go visit my old boss.
Yes.
Yeah, which is funny. Like, what are the odds that my old boss ends up transferring to a different theater and it happens to be one right next to this?
I know. That is wild.
So I'm gonna go visit him.
I'm going there on Thursday too, so maybe I'll see him. I don't know what he looks like, but
I'll tell you, and you can.
Great.
You'll know.
Let's dox him. Anyways, so yeah, if you guys want to see any of that coverage, it is on our Instagram. You can go check it out. And it was I'm speaking in past tense, but it was a lot of fun. We haven't gone yet, but it was a blast.
Fingers crossed.
Remember that time that thing happened with that person?
Ah, yes. And remember when that one person fell? Oh, that was you.
If you honestly, that probably will happen. I'm gonna make one I'm gonna make one
prediction.
Thank you. I'm gonna make a prediction, and I want you to make a prediction of what we think is likely to happen at Comic-Con.
Gonna burn.
Your wallet is gonna burn. Yeah. And let's see if either of them come true, so that when this episode comes out, people are gonna be like, "Holy shit, that actually happened." So, what do you think? What's a likely scenario that would happen at Comic-Con for us?
Likely scenario? I'm going to see lots of cosplay. No, I was kidding. That's way too.
You're going to get with a cosplay girl. That's my prediction. That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh my God, what's the name? What's the picture? That meme of the lady, the white girl, who's like, her face is like scrunched up, but then the caption says something different, and her like jaw drops, her eyes get wide, and she looks at the side of her eyes. She's like, yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh no.
I gotta Google this one. I'm gonna Google white lady meme.
Either way, we need to fucking talk about these movies. I
typed in white lady meme, and it's the exact picture I was talking about.
That's amazing. I need to see this. Oh, that one. Yeah. The Vine girl.
The Vine.
Yeah. I think my what was the word? Prediction.
Yeah.
My prediction for this Saturday. I think one of us, I don't know which one, but one of us is going to.
He's Googling something right now.
No, I'm just thinking of something that would happen. We're going to bump into someone we know who's cosplaying and not know that they do that.
We're going to
learn. And it's going to be awkward. That's my prediction. We're going to be like, holy shit, I did not know blah, blah, blah cosplayed.
This
Jose. Is weird. Oh my God. That would be amazing. That's my prediction.
My prediction is that my wallet's going to burn and I'll see a Trigun cosplayer at some point.
Oh, true. Oh, true. Okay, cosplay wise, I think I definitely will see a Naruto.
Batman. Naruto, 100%.
1000%.
What I need to see is the mech from Aliens. Ripley in the mech.
If I don't see an Ellie cosplay, I will be sad.
Last of it now, part 1 or part 2?
Part 2.
There's part 1. There's part 1. There's young Ellie part 1. There's old Ellie part 2. Not old, but yeah, older.
18.
And then there's the TV show, the Bella Ramsey version.
Oh, right? True. Anyways, so let's get to the podcast. Sorry, we've just haven't talked in a while, so catching up. But yeah. So
yeah.
Isaiah, why don't you go first? What movie do you have, and who suggested it?
Thank you to Noah L for recommending Inception, because it is literally my favorite movie of all time. And also, when we watched it, when I watched it, and the episode that was originally the week that this episode was originally supposed to come out was actually going to be the 10th anniversary of the movie.
Oh shit!
It was we were literally going to record, actually, because that day we were going to record on that week. We were going to record on Friday. The day it was Thursday, that was the release. That was the 10th anniversary. So I was literally I watched it Thursday. We were going to record on Friday, and then it would come out Monday. And that's going to be the.
And then I had to get sick.
Yeah, because your immune system is shot. But yeah, this is my favorite movie of all time. I love it. So when the movie came out, I'll tell you exactly what happened when the movie came out. That's how nostalgic I am about it. I was with my parents and my sister. We were watching a movie at a discount movie theater, right?
Beautiful.
So it was a few weeks after the movie had came out, but we had watched it there, and we went and watched it, the whole family. But then me when we went home, me and my mom just wouldn't shut up about it, and we were like, "There's another showing like a half hour. And me and my mom were like, okay, we're gonna go. So we went back and watched it again the same day. God, I love that movie. So yeah, so we obviously it's a 5 out of 5 if you haven't gotten that.
Oh, no, I
um,
had no idea.
yeah, really. So now some of the details that are just really great is that obviously Nolan really he made this movie in between making the Batmans. So he was just like, hey, by the way, I'm just gonna crank this real awesome movie out. Like, so he's making Batman Begins, not Batman Begins, sorry, Batman The Dark Knight, right, is in 2008. This movie is in 2010, and then The Dark Knight Rises in 2013. So however, the script for the movie was he's been like constantly going back and writing it to like the last for like 10 years prior to the movie, right?
Mhm.
Also, by the way, I know like pretty much everything about this movie. You can probably ask me any question, I'll know it. I'll know the answer. Because
What timestamp? I'm just kidding.
what when the top stops spinning, it's literally like 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh,
Anyway, but
continue.
yeah. So because obviously after the movie was done, I was like, oh my god, how the hell did they make this? And and that kind of fueled the fire of me and being like, yeah, I definitely got a movie business, baby, making movies.
Oh, yeah.
So I learned about like all the behind the scenes, like what he was doing, what was going on, and I don't think I never saw The Dark Knight until after, like way after this movie. So this was, I think, my first Nolan movie.
Wow.
Yeah, so strong
Your
introduction.
Nolan virginity was taken.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, that was gross.
And so most of the movie, it's about dreams and sequences. Remember I wrote that script about dreams. I wouldn't say it's inspired by it. It definitely is like a similar like a concept that like, I had and then just kind of like reinforced me making something that kind of had a similar like thing with it. I would love to see another concept from Inception using like the technology that's there. It doesn't obviously have to be the same characters. Like if they made a sequel, I hope they don't. But
Yeah.
if they were to make like a sequel TV show, it would probably do something along the lines of using, heists or like the military using it or stuff like that.
Right.
Because it'd be a great concept. But the movie's great. Soundtrack's awesome. Hans Zimmer, obviously, go.
Oh, your boyfriend. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did the soundtrack. He does a lot of things with time and stuff like that. One of my favorite scenes in this entire movie is the hallway spinning scene.
Classic.
Where the van is spinning upside down, like, when it's falling down the embankment, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who fabulous, by the way, dresses fabulously. and which is why side tangent, that's how he got the role. He showed up to the audition dressed like the way he's dressed in the movie, and they said, oh, he's exactly what we're looking for, hire him. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so that's how he got
acting.
yeah. So but yeah, that scene specifically is all by the way, it's also like only a small paragraph at the bottom of a page on the script, and it's like a 10-minute sequence. And
Oh, wow. Really?
And, oh my god! And to create that thing is absolutely insane. They made an entire fake hallway of the hotel, the room. They literally put it on a giant like 30-foot spinning rotation thing. So there's a bunch of circles, and it's literally spinning around.
Yeah.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt and the actor are just literally just running around while the thing is spinning and jumping around. So that's crazy. So like I think the innovation and like the intuition to do stuff realistically without CGI or being like that, because they easily could have done that in CGI, but it was like, no, we got to do this real. I'm gonna throw Joseph Gordon-Levitt into the equivalent of a dryer,
Yeah.
the size of a building. So I think that's just great, and obviously the sound. Like I think that's like the pinnacle part of the movie, where I think every aspect of the movie boils down to that like scene of being the of like what makes it great is because,
well, yeah, when you think of Inception, you think of that scene for sure.
Yeah. So you think like the different types of layers, the practical effects, the acting, the action, the soundtrack, like all of it, like everything in the movie is at its peak at that moment.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's like the like pinnacle part.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, I really love this movie. I can talk about his praises for hours on end.
Well, let's not and say we did.
Yes.
I think Noah made a good choice.
Yes, Noah made a very good choice. Thank you, Noah.
Yeah, thank you, Noah, for the suggestion. Now, before we dive into my film, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's episode, Shaker and Spoon. It is a monthly subscription service that gives you bar quality recipes and ingredients designed by award-winning mixologists. Their latest box, Summer Scotch 3, features amazing cocktail recipes for, guess what? Scotch lovers.
Really?
Mm-hmm. If you'd like your very own subscription, head over to shakerandspoon.com and use your promo code, or use our promo code SIPS10 to get $10 off your first subscription. Again, that is promo code SIPS10, SIPS 10 to get $10 off your first subscription. I was looking at the ingredients and the recipes, and they look phenomenal. All right, now let's jump into my movie that was suggested by our editor, Chris. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
If you guys were ever wondering who makes the amazing reels, the silver screen snips that are on our YouTube and our Instagram,
Fabulous.
You can thank Chris for that. He does a phenomenal job. He makes us funny. So thank you, Chris. And thank you for suggestion of Don't Worry, Darling. This was actually a movie I had wanted to see for quite some time, and I never did. And after it was out, I heard kind of some mixed reviews starting out. Like, people were like, oh, it wasn't that good. It wasn't great. Other people were like, oh my God, it was the best movie ever. I think people just wanted to see Harry Styles and Florence Pugh fuck, but that was my opinion.
They heavily put that in. They're like, hey, if this movie isn't for you,
they knew what they were doing. Yeah.
Yeah, they were doing it too.
Yeah. So overall, I think the concept is, original-ish. There's definitely been variations done in the past. It's pretty similar of like, we're living in a spoilers, like simulation type thing, and none of this is real, and stuff like that. I'm not gonna try and get too far into it for those who actually want to watch. I mean, I just spoiled the big plot twist, but I'm not gonna get too far into it. But that's basically the concept of the movie. It's really, honestly, the best way to sum this up is the movie is just one big gaslight. I think that's the best way to sum it up.
I haven't heard it expressed that way, but that's 100% correct.
Oh, 1000%. Not only are you the audience member gaslit, but so is the main character. So it's a win-win, I guess.
It's a lose-lose for her, but
yeah. Obviously, Florence Pugh is in this, and I love her. I think her acting is phenomenal in this movie, and surprisingly, Harry Styles wasn't awful, but he also wasn't great. He did better than I expected, but I just saw him as Harry Styles, and I was like, this is weird. Like, I just picture like One Direction, like I can't take him seriously as an actor, but he didn't do terrible. I don't know what the fuck his accent was throughout the whole film. I couldn't tell if it was British or if it was American or if it was like a mix of the two. It was weird.
He just couldn't keep it consistent.
Yeah, he definitely couldn't. And it kind of like
threw you off, right?
Yeah. Like, threw me off for sure.
You'd be listening to a scene, you're like, wait.
Which maybe he did that on purpose because like the outside. Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here.
I refuse to give that man credit for that.
Because I was going to say the only thing I could think is like the actual guy who's outside the simulation spoke had an American accent, but in the simulation he had an English accent, so maybe it like kept slipping. But still, you're right. I'm not going to go that. It's not that deep, Bethany. Obviously, the whole movie, you're supposed to kind of just be like, what the fuck is going on the whole time? You're supposed to be kind of confused, trying to piece it together. And it does make sense at the end. It's pretty, in my opinion, it's a pretty self-explanatory idea. Like, you're not left being like, wait, what? Unless you really have trouble grasping the concept, maybe. But for the most part, I think it's pretty easy to understand, unlike Mother. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
I have the DVD in my room, but
honestly, it is. I'm not saying it's a good movie because of the story. It was just like visually pleasing. I'm not going to lie. I was like, what's happening? And I like it.
Didn't like a baby get murdered or like someone's head get butchered with an axe or something?
Some crazy shit went down. I don't know. I don't really fully remember. I watched it
that
like
house is
5 years ago.
It's like a birth canal or something crazy. Like there's veins.
Oh, I heard it was supposed to be like a religious analogy for like.
It's an allegory to the Bible, but
yeah.
I mean, what, Darren Aronofsky decided to take some shrooms or something before,
yeah, right.
And then read the Bible and said, "I got this."
Yeah. I think that Olivia Wilde kind of was pretty. I mean, she obviously stole the show, in my opinion. I mean, her character's is in it for not a lot of it, She doesn't have that major of a character. She's definitely a more important one, but she's not the main character, but she still fucking did an amazing job. I always find it interesting or like intriguing when a director not only directs their own movie, but also acts in it, because I want to know how they direct themselves.
They look in the mirror and they say, could have done better.
Yeah, like you have to critique your own scenes. Like that's crazy to me. Just like Shane Dawson did.
No.
That's an old film school joke there.
He did not direct himself at all. That's the problem.
No, he thought he was perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure every scene he did, he said, one take, we're good.
If this ever gets to Shane Dawson's hands, he's going to come for our asses, and then we get YouTube drama. I think the film definitely felt like it was leading up to something. Like it felt like something more grand was coming, and it kind of just felt like everything came crashing down. And I get that's kind of what they were going for, but like not in a good way, in my opinion. It kind of felt like it fell flat. I can't really quite explain how, because I was very sick when I wrote this. I watched this when I had COVID. So I actually don't know what the fuck I meant by that bullet point.
It's probably because the movie literally just cuts to black. Like the end of the movie, there's like a whole.
Well, yeah, I wrote that. I wrote it ends like that in all caps. So I definitely thought that, but I also wrote this other thing down. And I mean, I had a really high fever when I watched the movie. So I remember texting Isaiah and I was like, wow, that was a literal fever dream. But I rated it a 3 out of 5. I think it's just a kind of mid movie. It's not terrible, but I wouldn't go recommend it to anyone. But if it's on, it's like, okay. Yeah, it's fine. But thank you, Chris, for your suggestion. Thanks for letting me finally get to watch it.
Please let us know if you agree with her.
Yeah, text me. Actually, I'll text him and let him know that I watched it so that he can.
You'll hear your opinion and be like, I don't think I can work for you anymore.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, guys, actually, I quit for no particular reason. Don't ask why.
I don't think our contract's working out anymore.
Yeah, I actually fucking hate both of you. So I can no longer work with you. But anyways, thank you everyone for listening to today's episode. Sorry, it's been so long, but we're back and we're better than ever. Well, I redact that last statement there. But
maybe not, maybe physically, but definitely not mentally.
I'm ahead of myself. Yeah. Thank you to our special listeners that suggested these movies, Noah and Chris. Thank you so much. And be sure to follow us on Instagram so you can get the latest updates on our episodes and any upcoming guests. Of course, send in your movie suggestions for our next listeners episode. We love seeing all your suggestions and watching what you want us to watch. So definitely send those in at silverscreensips@gmail.com. Now, for our final announcement, we have the results from our season poll for season 12. And you guys voted on what we'll be covering. And here are the results. How bad are the bongos there?
It was nominal.
Thank you. All right. So for season 12, we will be watching the East Rail 177 trilogy, which is Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. Woo!
Please insert glass shattering sound effect here.
How'd that?
You really,
sound?
Really, you should do it.
You should be a Foley artist.
No. You should give up. You give up on that dream right now.
Oh, okay.
However, I'm giving you so one of the things that, since we just made the announcement, I happened to find before we closed the theater.
Oh, yes.
Old.
What is it?
Shot glasses for promotional logos for Glass, the movie that came out in like 2017, I think. So literally, like they look like they're shattered, and they have like the glass font on it, and it says Glass, and they're shot glasses.
That is awesome.
So we will be going. I'll bring them over too, and then we can take some shots out of them.
Oh, good. We'll post that on our Instagram too. So I mean, this episode will be out after we post that, but if you followed us, you would have seen it. Just saying. That sounds awesome, though. I'm excited.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a shot. We're gonna take a shot with the glasses, right? We're just gonna show them, but we're not gonna mention them. We're just gonna do it, and maybe they'll take a little.
Then you'll find out. Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I have a fun shot that me and Jacob have to try. I I haven't made them before, but I want to try it. And I want to wait. I literally told Jake, I was like, we have to wait till Isaiah gets here to try this because it might be better than a Four Horsemen.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It might be our new Four Horsemen. I almost said Horseman. Jesus Christ.
Not an orgy.
Foursome. All right. Thank you, everyone who voted. And we will see you next week in season 12, starting with Unbreakable.